Hello and welcome to the Accountants Mastermind and another video from us. And today I'm going to be talking to Ashley Ritchie, who is our superstar of the month from our Bounce Mastermind community. In today's video, Ashley is going to talk about how she ended up in hospital from overwhelm and stress and how our systems and support from the group has helped her achieve even more in November, despite reducing the amount of work she does. So let's get started.
Um,
Today I am joined by our superstar of the month, Ashley Ritchie. So Ashley, if you could introduce yourself and give us a little bit about your practice, that'd be great.
okay, so I'm from Northern and I own Campbell Ritchie Chartered Accountants Limited. I started officially in 2015, but I was working for local government back then. So it was kind of more like a hobby. And it was only really whenever COVID took place that I started to build my business up a bit more. But I've got four children now. At the time I had three. Two were getting homeschooled because of COVID. And then I had a 1 year old and I was working local government and just starting the business. And I had to make a decision about, do I keep the business going or do I stay in the safe job in local government with the good benefits and everything? So scarily enough, I chose the business. I don't know why. I was panicking at the time thinking, what if all my clients close? And then I end up with nothing. But I just like the flexibility of it and the fact that I wasn't answering to another boss and I didn't have to ask for holidays. And if my children were sick or if they had a nativity or something, I didn't have to always ask someone's permission to go to these things. So that's why I went with the business.
No,
And
that's brilliant.
it's
And sorry, I think that's one of the reasons why we
not
kind
bad.
of picked you as the superstar of the month, really, for November, because I know that towards the end of October there was a little bit of issue around health. I don't know if you want to sort of share any of that, and I guess how you've overcome it. And I think since then, embracing exactly what we're hoping to achieve with all of our members of Bounce.
Well, in October, kind of near the end of October, I was burnt out, basically, is what happened. I collapsed one Monday morning getting the kids ready for school. My husband was helping getting half of them ready, and I was doing the other half and making lunches. And I just didn't feel great, and I collapsed. I didn't even feel it coming on. I just thought I was going to be sick, and went to hospital. And they said I had a viral infection, but they also said that part of the problem was if it was a normal situation I was dealing with, I would have just got over the virus. But because of working so many hours and trying to juggle everything and putting so much pressure on myself, then that's what caused me to collapse. So I was brought in then to the GP, and she had a stern word with me and said basically I had to take this seriously and try to change the balance of everything, or it could end up a lot worse.
Hmm. And
After my husband was a
sorry.
great help, and he, even with the business, he was helping me and he was actually making me be accountable to him and, and take rest and take breaks. And like for a while, I was working to 2, 3 in the morning doing things and weekends. And the problem with the business was, even if I was taking time off, it was constantly in my head. So it was like I wasn't actually getting a break because I was always thinking about things. And so I think now I'm feeling a lot better because I've been taking those breaks and forcing myself. I'm actually more productive. And with the Accountants Mastermind, I hadn't really been using Coach Accountable, but I'm a bit of a nerd and I like these tick boxes. So I'd actually thought I better start using this properly. And I'm sure you saw the amount of things I was doing. One Friday in particular, I had taken the Thursday off, and in a way, I felt guilty that I'd taken this time off. But then the Friday came, and I had done maybe 30 different tasks all in the one day, and I felt so motivated by it and so happy to get all these things off my list. But I know if I didn't take that break, I probably would have got 5 things done.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I know that it's very difficult, and you've already talked about several different factors that a lot of people face, juggling families, making decisions about work and everything else. But for me, the great thing looking in, obviously, is, our values are inspire, challenge, and support. And it was wonderful to see the group rally round and support you. And also then I think after that, as you said about using the coach accountable, and I'll come back to it, but you set within November, you set 61 actions and completing 50. Now, from my perspective, it's like you've gone through this situation where you felt overwhelmed, felt anxiety, so much so that you've ended up in hospital, and you've talked about adding actions, but how did that help? Because from the outside looking in, that might seem that you've put even more pressure on yourself. So how did getting them written down and everything like that help you?
I think the fact that I wrote it down then in the evenings or the weekends, I knew there was a list there to come back to, and I didn't have to worry about forgetting things. So as they came up in my head, I put them on the list to get them off my mental plate as such. And because before I was trying to remember everything, now I would have jotters and little notebooks everywhere, and it just wasn't organized. It was firefighting constantly. But I found whenever I had everything in the one place and I was able to tick them off and set deadlines for those, then it was just easier to manage.
So by breaking all the stuff that's going on in your head and getting it written down, one of our speakers talks about that there's a science behind it about closed loops, and I've shared it a couple of times, and I think that's pretty much what you're talking about. You had all this stuff going on in your head, like a washing machine with all the different stuff going around, and then by using Coach Accountable, you were able to get this stuff down and then forget about it until it needed to be done. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah, definitely. It's the mental load of everything.
Mm.
Partner in my business, which is one of the reasons I joined the Accountants Mastermind, was to get other accountants and get their support. And if you had questions, if you had some strange question from clients, as you always do, then it was someone to bounce ideas off and have that collective thought process, and everyone chips in, and it's just a great network and support from everybody.
No, that's brilliant. And thank you very much, as I said, for sharing your story, because it's as you know, we give Superstar of the Month to a member that we feel has achieved massive things. And it's one of those situations. We had a conversation around it, and ours for that month, there was only one name for us,
Right.
because you'd gone through what you went through in October, and as I say, from the outside looking in, it's like, well, hang on a minute, she's gone from being utterly stressed to ending up being in hospital to actually putting even more on her plate. But I think, like you've said, it's getting it off the plate that's the most important thing. So thank you for allowing us to share this with other people, because I think it will help inspire them, and know that there is support out there for everybody to get. So thank you very much for being our
Thank you.
superstar of November.